Hi, it's State Representative Jim Walsh here in the wings outside the floor of the House in Olympia with my good colleague R-Abell from the 7th District. We today dealt with a very sensitive, somewhat complicated bill that was Senate Bill 5093 that dealt with the updating and really the eliminating of an older law on the Washington state statutes books that has to do with concealing a pregnancy when the baby passes away, a stillbirth or a death after birth. It's a very sensitive subject. It's a complicated point in the law, but we felt that this bill, which gets rid of the older law on this subject, is wrong. That there are elements of the older law about concealing these pregnancies that are important to transparency and to good government. And Hunter, you're good at the nuances of these. Talk a little bit about this bill and what the problems were.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. So like you said, difficult bill, complicated subject, but the gist of the bill is that it would repeal the crime of concealing birth. So I was standing and you were standing for the position that this crime should remain on the books for a number of good reasons. One of them is the problem we have in our state throughout the country of dealing with human trafficking. Now, this is some of the most difficult, awful stuff to talk about or think about, but unfortunately, this can involve children, this can involve infants, and the repealing of this particular crime takes away a tool for prosecutors to go after some of the worst people in our society. These are people who are engaged in modern day slavery involving women, children, and babies. So a very strong, animated debate over a long period of time with you and me and all of our Republican colleagues voting to retain this law on the books so that we can go after some of the worst people in our society, the human traffickers.
Yes, and it's easy to say that this older law that makes the concealment of a birth of a baby, that somehow it is against women. The use of the law by prosecutors and others is to go after the pimps and the traffickers and the people who are abusing young girls and women. So we feel that while the statute may need to be narrowed a bit or maybe updated, it's good law, and we think it's best for prosecuting some of the darkest corners of the human trafficking world. And we're happy to have had that spirited debate, and we were pretty strong in our no to repeal the law, to keep it and have it used properly. Last thoughts?
It was a good stand on behalf of little innocent babies that are born. It was a good stand on behalf of survivors of human trafficking, and a good stand on behalf of our elected prosecutors who are supposed to go after these really terrible people. So it was a fight worth having. I'm glad we took the vote we did.
Now, the majority still passed the bill, but we feel strongly that laws like this are on the books for protecting people and for shining a light on darkness in our communities. We'll keep fighting like this because that's why we're here.
Yep.
Hunter,
Thanks.
It's always good.
Appreciate it.